Right, I'm back and I've got myself a lovely pair of Infinity RS2000s. So the RS stands for Reference Series. Not too sure when they were made, but yeah, made by Infinity, and Arnie Nudell is one of my speaker heroes. Some of the early stuff he did with Infinity, we founded the company with another guy, can't remember his name. They pioneered a lot of technology that we now enjoy in our speakers, and I expect a lot of you follow PS Audio. Paul McGowan worked with him as well, and Arnie was helping Paul develop a line of speakers, and then sadly Arnie died. But yeah, I've repaired a few of Infinity speakers, the bigger floor standers, the RS4Bs, the reference 30s and 50s. Most of the time everything's okay apart from the woofers, the surrounds, they just awful. If you scour eBay, you'll find so many Infinity speakers with rotten woofer surrounds. Just the foam they use just degrades like nobody's business. But there's plenty of rebuild kits out there. So yeah, these are a nice pair of two-ways that came up on eBay, and I thought I'd snatch them myself for 25 quid. So I think it cost about the same in delivery though, but yeah, never mind, for 50 quid. They're really good. I think they're a veneer. Certainly looks like it. So yeah, nice wood grain finish and just a little two-way. But they're in a bit of a sorry state, which is why we bought them. So here's one. Tweeter looks intact, and these polycell tweeters are actually really good. I like them. Have a good sound to them. And this one here, again, the tweeter's good. The woofer, this is the original woofer, and as you can see, the foam surround is completely broken up. Most of the Infinity woofers do this, and also the polypropylene cone gets really brittle, and I mean this is just coming apart, as you can see, and this is cracked here. So you can buy re-foaming or re-surround kits for these, and I've done a number of those, and they're very easy to do. I would say they're probably one of the easier woofers to re-surround. But here we haven't got the original. Someone's bodged this paper cone piece of crap in here. So that's a shame. So we need to look into two new woofers for this, and I want to use something that looks fairly similar. With a polypropylene cone, same impedance. We'll probably have to do a bit of crossover correction, but I'll probably use something like Dayton Audio, something like that. So yeah, so I'll give you a close look around them. The grills are pretty good. They have got a few nicks and splits, so we'll replace the cloth. It's got a hole there as well, and they're just grubby on a plastic frame, so we'll have to clamp and glue them, but not too difficult. And this one here as well is a bit worse. So yeah, and stink as well. But yeah, the cabinets are good. We've lost a bit of the veneer here, but otherwise they're really nice. I do like the look of these with the rolled sides. That'll help with diffraction around the corners of the cabinets. So they're just nice, a nice compact, a good size, very usable for lots of people, this sort of size. And yeah, so on the back we have push your wire in, spring contacts on them. On the other one of these is broken, so I'll probably change these. We'll put binding posts in there so we can use banana plugs or bare wires if we want. I think, yeah, they do have consecutive serial numbers, so I don't know what sort of effort they went to with these later speakers in matching the speakers, if they were you know, consecutive serial numbers. But yeah, so hopefully we're just in this for a pair of woofers and a bit of crossover correction to compensate for what we fit. Hopefully our tweeters are good. So we'll take a look inside. Right, let's take a look inside and see what we've got. So yeah, like I say, I love the cabinets to these. I love the look. They're just nice, a rolled side, flat top and bottom, and it's just a nice look without the grills on as well. And if it is a veneer, which I think it is, it rolls all the way round, and it's been re-glued here and there, and we've just got a little nick there, so I'll see what we can do with that. Right, so dimensions wise, 36 high, 23 wide, and 18.5 centimeters deep. Obviously with the grills that lifts off a little bit as well. So let's take this woofer out, and I'm assuming this gets us to the crossover. Imagine they're going to be a chipboard frame. Yep, certainly looks like it. And then we'll source some new woofers for these, see what condition the crossover's in, and maybe recap it if needed, because I can't remember the age of these. I mean, RS 2000, were they built in 2000? I don't know, I'll research it for the next video. Proper chipboard screws, really wide threads. Yeah, good. Right, okay. Let's take this off then. So, stripe, which is positive. Okay, so the one with the black is negative. So there's the woofer, and what's left of it. As you can see, we've got a crack here, and the foam surround is just dust basically. Reasonable long throw on there. So yeah, so what is this, 6 inch, 5 1/4, yeah, 6.5 inch. So we'll find something for that. And the cutout we need, start on 10. So we've got a 145mm 145mm cutout. And the woofer is 17 centimeters overall, so 170mm. And the holes 16 centimeters apart on the angle. And 11 straight across. Right, okay, so hopefully you can see inside. So we've got like a cloth material, which is there to basically keep the polyfill away from the back of the cone, which is quite nice really. There we go. That's something I do, especially if you're using a loose fill material like this. It's good to just put something like that behind the woofer to stop any of this hitting the back of the cone. Okay, right, we'll take out the tweeter carefully. These tend to hold up really well, but the foam that the diaphragm's made of can be a bit fragile. Again, proper chipboard screws. Yes, a nice speaker. gasket at the back, so tweeter's connected. Well, the wires are in phase, but it's probably reversed at the crossover, possibly. I remember in the past these being very delicate to take apart. There we go. So there's our tweeter, polycell tweeter, probably about 25mm. There we go, reasonable magnet on the back, nothing monstrous. Teeny magnet on the woofer, so yeah, nothing too spectacular. Nice tweeters though. Alright, so we take out all the polyfill. I wouldn't say that is polyfill, that is, don't know actually, more like cotton rather than polyester. Okay, so our little crossover is actually fixed to the binding post cup at the back, so let's take that out as well. A flat blade for this. You can use a socket on this as well. See if we can do it with this. I'm going to come out of there. Yes, right. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So there's our crossover. Wow. Yeah, so we've got an iron core inductor here, which must be on the woofer. A 5 microfarad cap there. A little capacitor there as well. Teeny tiny iron core inductor there, which must be on the tweeter. A little 5 watt resistor, 2 ohms. 5 watt resistor, 4 ohms. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to try and break the glue up on this, but it looks like second order on the woofer. So this iron core, probably with this 5. And then we've got this teeny cap here, which is probably a little poly. If we can pick that out carefully. Yeah, we're not going to reuse this. We're going to rebuild this and just mount something in the back. Hot glue special. Right, I've torn this teeny little thing apart, and there's quite a bit going on in there. So I've drawn it all out, although I do need to measure this little iron core inductor here, which is on the tweeter circuit. We do have a first order on the woofer. It's purely this inductor, and that's it. So yeah, 6 dB roll off at whatever frequency they're rolling that woofer out at. And then we have a second order on the tweeter. So we've got a 5 microfarad capacitor here. We come in first, and then we've bypassed it with a 0.1 microfarad poly cap. So that is basically improving this. Kind of, if you do that, you're going to make this electrolytic kind of perform almost as good as a 5 microfarad poly. And then we've got a couple of resistors here in various places. So I've drawn it all out. So we come in on our positive here through our iron core inductor to the woofer, so first order. And on the tweeter we come into our 5 and our 0.1 in parallel. And then we come down to the woofer, sorry, to the tweeter through a 4 ohm resistor. And here's the second order part. So we come off after the caps through a iron core inductor with a 2 ohm resistor down to ground. So that's going to be a bit of impedance correcting, because this circuit might have been a bit low, I don't know. But yeah, so we will measure these inductors so we know the values of those, and then rebuild this with good components. I'll have to adjust this to suit our new woofer, possibly make this second order as well, depends how it behaves. But yeah, let's desolder those and test them. So while we're waiting for the iron to warm up, this cable they've used, just khaki old, it's either tin, copper or steel, probably steel. So yeah, we want to replace that as well. Yeah, didn't expect to find that, but some of the others I've worked on, they're just khaki parts like this. Things like a bypass to improve that, keep the cost down rather than using a good poly on that. So yeah, not too surprised. So there's that teeny tiny inductor. Little iron core thing on the tweeter. Not helping it, is it? I'll take these out as well. See if I can get that out. Come on. Right, there's our little electrolytic out as well. Take that resistor out, might as well. Okay, so that's everything out. Let's have a, and there's our inductor. So let's have a look. So this iron core here is the one I'm more concerned with at the moment. .46. That's very small. And 0.6 of an ohm. So I don't know what the DC resistance of this is. Let's have a quick look if we can. Assuming the voice coil's still intact. .8, so we'll call it 4 ohms, right? Okay. So this woofer was really playing up high, so that's a ridiculously light cone. Yeah, that's probably playing up 3.5 kilohertz, 4 kilohertz. Very high. Before it rolls off. Right, let's look at this little iron core on the tweeter. So 0.19 millihenry and 0.7 ohms. Let's just have a look at this little poly cap. Yeah, so it's more like 0.3. What's this? This should be a 5. Yeah, it's holding up fairly well. 4.8. Okay, right, good. There we go. Right, let's just DC test this tweeter. So 6 ohms basically. Okay, right, that's good. Right, so really what I need to do is solder some new cables on this and get it back into the box, and then measure this, see how this tweeter performs, and then try and match a woofer to this, and then we can sort the crossover out afterwards. So yeah, these are not going to end up being an RS2000 at the end of this. Right. Make sure everything's still good. Yep, perfect. So no more push foot connectors on that. All soldered on so we can measure that, so that can go back in properly now. Just while we got the box back here again, these are really good. That is really thick chipboard. I know that's hollow at the moment with nothing there, but that's seriously thick. Yeah, so it's all 18mm chipboard, even the back baffle there as well. So yeah, I think in terms of the box themselves, very good. I know these are good tweeters as well, so if we can build a better crossover and get a good woofer in there, then happy days. Okay, I'll screw that back in. Right, so that's all back in. Obviously we don't need the enclosure really to test this tweeter. It's good to test it on the baffle it's going to be playing off of. So yeah, we'll quickly do a near field test on that, see what its characteristics are, and then we'll try and match a new woofer to it. But we're going to need judging by the crossover and values we've seen, we're going to need a good mid woofer that really can play as a mid. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, sorry to be doing this all wobbly, but I've just done the near field measurements, and yeah, really we want to be using it from 3K upwards because we're nice and flat here, and probably where the roll off starts we would probably correct some of this, so that's not too much of a problem. But yeah, it gets a bit screwy below 3K hertz, which obviously can understand why the woofer plays up as high as it does. And it's, yeah, a very nice tweeter. In terms of stored energy, well, yeah, nothing. And there's a little bit of distortion as well, around 3K. So yeah, we really want to be using it from 3K upwards basically. So yeah, I'll stick up these measurements after, but I think I know where we're shooting for now. So next video we'll source a woofer for these, put it in there, measure the whole thing together, and get the crossover put together. Right guys, thanks for watching. It's good to be back doing these again. I have been shooting a load of stuff. I've just got to edit them and get them out. Also had a lot of really nice messages from my last video, so appreciate that. Very nice to hear, and glad some of you really enjoy this. So yeah, I'll be back doing these from now on. So thanks again, and I'll catch you all soon.